between Rios and Alvarado. Their first fight was a barn burner. Everyone, including the fighters themselves, expects the barn to burn to the ground once again.
The question is, will their names be hyphenated, Rios and Alvarado, the way Wards and Gaddies are, the way Corrales and Castillo are? That's the kind of talk that has been buzzing around boxing since this fight was made.
Oh, what an uppercut by Alvarado. Winds up with a right.
And Rios just eats it and keeps coming forward.
I'm a warrior. I got balls. I come to fight. I don't come to hug. I don't come to dance. I come to fight, man.
You know what I like that Alvarado does? He fights like hell, just like Rios.
No, this is my ring. No, I own this ring. I'm not gonna back up. I'm not gonna sit here and bow down to you. You know, I'm gonna sit there and fight you. I'm gonna beat you at your game.
5 months ago, Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado fought one of the fights of the year. They renew their rivalry next. All right, Brandon Rios versus Mike Alvarado the second time around. The crowd is already warming up. Roy Jones, we've had a lot of talk about what a great fight the first one was. Give us your take on the dynamics that present a second chance for them.
Well, Jim, here's my keys to victories for both fighters. For Mike Alvarado, he did some good things in the first fight, but he needs to do more this time around. For one thing, he used his legs early. So he's better off boxing more and sticking to the game plan. When Alvarado was jabbing and throwing rights off of that jab, he was much better off. His heart lost him the first fight when he allowed it to become a dogfight. For Brandon Rios, he clearly has the edge when fighting in close quarters. Rios uses his head well on the inside, moving it from shoulder to shoulder and up and down to avoid the big shots. If Rios can use his big left hooks and physical pressure, he can once again tire Alvarado out and possibly win this rematch.
Some people questioned the validity of that stoppage. Brandon Rios said to us, in his view of the fight, watching it several times, he felt that he threw 23 consecutive punches prior to Russell's stoppage without anything coming back from Alvarado, and he felt that made it a valid stoppage. Max Kellerman, it was a tremendous pitch battle between the two of them, and it was a close fight up till the moment of the stoppage, and yet Brandon Rios in the sports book here is a 4-to-1 betting favorite to win this fight. So what are the differences in their background and in their technical capabilities that make Rios such a heavy favorite to win the rematch?
Well, there's the old adage in boxing, if one guy knocks another guy out, he'll do it in the rematch again, only quicker. And in this case, there's a technical and an emotional reason for that. Technically, Brandon Rios has been fighting since he was 8 years old. He had hundreds of amateur fights. Alvarado, since he was 20 years old, had dozens of amateur fights. Their muscle memories are programmed differently so that when they exchange, oh, and they will exchange, Rios, his punches will tend to get there first. They'll be straighter, they'll be harder, more of them will land. And then there's the emotional factor here. They were both the toughest guys on their block in their neighborhood. They fought to see who was the toughest. It was Rios. Alvarado, by saying he needs to change the way he fights, concedes that. That guy's tougher than me. I got to show the discipline to be a boxer. That's an emotional edge for Rios, too.
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado. Modern athletes. You see the 6-year age advantage for Brandon Rios, who has spent his life in boxing, as opposed to Alvarado, who didn't begin boxing until he was 20. You see the height advantage for Alvarado of 1 inch, but arm length measures equally from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in right at 140 pounds. And look at the way the preparation figures into rehydrating overnight, as Rios will come in at 161 and Alvarado will come in at 158. CompuBox numbers from the first fight. Brandon Rios was slightly more accurate. Alvarado was considerably more busy. Alvarado, as you see, threw 238 more punches in the fight, but landed at a lower connect percentage than Alvarado, who gets closer and throws shorter, tighter shots. Power punches, Rios with a connect edge. 12 punches more landed for him, and again, the shorter, tighter shots project more power and ultimately probably helped him to win the fight. Now here comes Mike Alvarado, and as I mentioned, he did not begin boxing until the relatively late age of 20, but his athletic history can be traced to his childhood, when he was introduced to the sport of wrestling by his stepfather.
My original last name is Gonzalez, Michael Gonzalez. I changed my last name from Gonzalez to Alvarado my freshman year in high school, just out of respect for my stepdad, because, you know, he raised me. He taught me how to be a man. He taught me everything I know. It was meant for me to be a fighter. You know, my biological dad was a fighter. You know, I didn't know that growing up. I really didn't know my biological father. Him and my mom had their issues, so, you know, my mom decided to not let him see me. You know, he wasn't putting in, he wasn't taking care of me, he wasn't, you know, being a man. So she got with my stepdad, and, you know, he was into the whole wrestling game, and say, I'm gonna put my stepson in wrestling, you know, you never know. You know, he just threw me on the mat with some corduroys and some Velcro shoes. Wrestling was my first sport that I took, and, you know, it was my passion, and that's what I stuck with for 13 years straight. And then one day I just went to the gym, and it was like, boom, I had an epiphany out of nowhere. It was just like, all right, let's try this, let's do this now.
And here comes Mike Alvarado and Max Kellerman. It's inescapable. Viewers at home look at that tight shot and say to themselves, oh, look, he has lipstick stains on the beard. But no, that wasn't lipstick. What was it?
Well, Alvarado sustained cuts to his cheek and neck during the point of time he was supposed to be training. Now, he was in Denver. Usually he finished up training in LA. Didn't do it this time, and didn't want to talk about how the cuts occurred, although it certainly looks like a glass bottle broke against his face. Oh, I don't know, maybe in a bar in Denver somewhere.
It was reported on the web that he was party to a bar fight in Denver. His manager, Henry Delgado, says, oh, no biggie. He was back in the gym the next day. Not to worry about that.
All the heart in the world, that guy. There's no, and we saw it in the first fight.
And a life on the edge to go with that heart. Now, like any good fighter-trainer relationship, the bond between Brandon Rios and Robert Garcia is based on trust, forged from years together as both pupil and teacher, and also as friends.
Well, Robert, he's a great friend of mine. I met him at the 2004 Olympic trials, and I think it was in Mississippi. He goes, have you ever considered about going pro? I'm like, honestly, no. Because in Kansas, where I grew up, it's like 30,000 people or less. And, you know, I never thought I was going to be a professional fighter. Robert kept communicating with me when I was in Kansas. He was here in California. He's been there for me ever since. Even when I was in Kansas, I used to come over here, train, and go back over there. I was always in and out of jail. There was time when Robert bailed me out of jail. He's one of my best men at my wedding. He's my Nino. That means he's my godfather. Robert knows what he's talking about. He's been in this situation. He's been a fighter, so he knows what it takes, and he knows how it feels to be in that ring. So I know if I listen to him, he's the one that's seeing the things that I'm not seeing.
I know you fucking love this. Let's go, all right?
He's great at what he does, so of course, I gotta listen to him.
That little exchange about how much he loves it came after the first round of their first fight in Carson, California last year. Roy Jones, he told us one of the most revealing stories I think I've ever heard yesterday. Made it all the way to the final of the 2004 Olympic trials. While he was there, he met Robert Garcia, and Garcia said to him, so when are you turning pro? Rios said, I had never given it a moment's thought. I had not thought anything at all about turning pro. It seems unreal to me, but not to you.
No, it doesn't seem unreal to me, because the type of a guy that Brandon Rios is that he lives day for day. He lives for the moment. He doesn't care about tomorrow. He's not fighting in the Olympic trials concerned about what's going to happen tomorrow. He wants to have fun today. So when he's in the fight, exchanging like he does, like you said after the first round of that first fight, he's happy. This is what he lives for. Forget tomorrow, it's about right now.
And that's why the fight fans are happy, because both these guys fight like there is no tomorrow.
It was Garcia who ushered Rios into that professional career, and they're still together. And look at your text poll. Look at your feedback on who's going to win the rematch.
Well, they remember Alvarado outboxing Rios for a lot of the first fight.
Arturo Gatti did it against Mickey Ward in the second fight. Alvarado says he has to do it tonight. He has to be more clinical. He has to box more. Almost no one here in the arena believes he's going to stick to that. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Interim Light Welterweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Tecate Cerveza con Carácter and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Bill Brady, Executive Director Keith Kaiser. At ringside, the three judges scoring will be Dwayne Ford, Bill Lurch, and Dave Moretti. And inside the ring, in charge of the action, referee Tony Weeks. And now this is the moment boxing fans have been waiting for. It's the rematch. The officials are ready. The fighters are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner with trainer Sean Villauer, wearing burgundy with silver, officially weighing in at 140 pounds. His professional record, outstanding. 33 victories, including 23 knockouts, only one defeat. From Thornton, Colorado, USA, here is Mike Mile High Alvarado. And fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer, Bobby Garcia, official weight 140 pounds. As a professional, 31 victories with one draw, including 22 knockouts. From Oxnard, California, former lightweight world champion, the undefeated Brandon Bam Bam Rios.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, right here is good, aim to below is go low. Right here is good, aim to low is low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Brandon Rios thinks too highly of Mike Alvarado to believe that Alvarado can beat him. He figures Alvarado can talk all he wants about boxing, but when the punches start flying, the beast will come out in Alvarado. He's that kind of warrior.
But Alvarado, who has flip-flopped some in public on the subject of whether it will be the same fight or whether he'll try to be more tightly controlled in a boxing envelope tonight, yesterday insisted to us, no, I get it. I must box. I can't just go to war and trade with him the way I did the last time. Again, almost nobody here at ringside believes he'll be able to stick to it.
Especially Brandon Rios.
So here we go. Crowd is chanting Rios, Rios early. Already you've seen Rios' effective ability to cut off the ring.
And that's what it seems like he's worked on, Jim. Seems like he worked on cutting the ring off, so in case Alvarado did want to box, he was not going to allow him to do it.
Alvarado's pushing out his punches so far, Roy. It doesn't look like he's snapping them out. Maybe trying to control that impulse.
Yeah, I think he's trying to conserve himself because he knows not only is it going to be a long night, but at some point he's going to have to stop and fight.
Alvarado in a southpaw stance now. Momentarily in a southpaw stance. And now back to his conventional stance. And Rios goes to the body and hammers away as if to say, I don't care which way you stand.
He actually doesn't.
Of course not.
Good
Right hand upstairs by Alvarado. And an uppercut by Alvarado. And a good left hook by Mike Alvarado. And Rios grins. When Rios grins like that, you know Alvarado's tagged him. Solid right hand shot inside by Brandon Rios.
Yeah, and Alvarado threw a great overhand right just then as well.
So they're off and running, just as was the case in Carson. Your memory of a fight like that always makes it feel at first as though this one isn't matching up, isn't exactly the same thing. And of course, it's the second time they've seen each other, and they've had a lot of time to think.
I'll say so far, so good.
Awfully good.
Alvarado, like in the first fight, having success whipping those looping punches from the outside. Rios having success on the inside.
And you make a great point right there, because to me, at the end of the day, if there's a difference between them, it is that Alvarado's punches travel further, and Rios's are shorter and tighter.
Yep, that was the difference in the first fight, for sure.
There's a cut over the right eye of Mike Alvarado. Already over the right eye, just under the eyelid, I believe there's a cut on Alvarado's face. As you look at both families, that's the Alvarado family. There it is.
A little more sideways. A little more sideways. Beautiful boxing. Sideways.
Don't get careless, please.
I work on mi pinche huevo de otra vez.
Cazándolo, como le dije, cazándolo. Vamos, cabrón.
Combi box numbers in round one. Rios 23 of 74, Alvarado 19 out of 63. Brandon Rios had a 17-10 advantage in power shots. We saw them using the end swell above the right eye of Alvarado between rounds. I thought I had seen a trace of blood there. It may be just a red mark.
You wonder if not for a career-high payday, does Alvarado not pull out of the fight given the cuts on his face coming in? Not a great way to go in against an animal who just stopped you in the fight of the year kind of fight the last time you fought.
Now you got to give Brandon a little credit too. He's doing a much better job at defending these shots from Alvarado this fight. The first fight he really wasn't defending the shots that well early. This time he's got a much more tighter defense than he had in the first battle.
He promised that. He said that that would be his adjustment. Tighter defense and even shorter shots. Again, the grin on Rios' face. Good body shot by Brandon Rios.
You see when Alvarado leans in like that, Rios loves those uppercuts on the inside. Stopped Alvarado with the overhand right in their first fight, hit him with some good hooks, but it's those uppercuts that he really loves on the inside.
And to Alvarado's credit, he is trying to go to the body a little more this time, as to try to wear Rios down with him.
Oh, are they throwing big shots?
I think that last big hook just reminded Alvarado that he wants to box and not fight.
Alvarado momentarily in the southpaw stance, now turns back conventional. Throws one of those combinations which typified his effort. Rios with that elbow-to-elbow defense. Wants to plow forward, go to the inside. Wobbles Alvarado with that shot.
With a jab.
Alvarado's in trouble here.
With a jab, Jim. You very rare to see that. A jumping hard jab. Rock Alvarado.
Oh, good left hook by Rios. Alvarado holding on. He's holding on with the right arm. Now he steps away.
And that's what Rios knows how to do. He knows how to fight back. What Alvarado knows how to do.
Alvarado's trying to shake out the cobwebs.
He's not a survival kind of fighter. He's a fight back kind of fighter.
And fighting back is not the thing to do right now because he's in bad trouble.
He can't help it.
You saw Alvarado talking to Rios as he backed away. Rios is just coming. Now they're trading shots again. Here we go. Here we go. Round 2.
Round 9.
Alvarado grinning and pounding his heart. He took some big punishment in round 2.
Your defense, you gotta be from side to side. Don't drop that hand, you understand?
Drop your body a little sideways.
Opportunities, you understand?
You're still dropping your hands when you're done punching. Don't drop your hands when you're done punching.
Give me some more head movement. You did it for a while. You did a beautiful job. Keep doing some more. Boom, boom, and get it. Let's get those fucking uppercuts and hooks. More body shots after that, all right? Bonito, cabrón.
Right here you see Rios squat down and see the shot right there. You see he's here wide open right there. He squats and sees the jab, lines it up, and then boom, he turns it loose, and there goes the jab right down the middle. That shot really rocked Alvarado. You very rarely see a fighter hurt another fighter with a stiff jab that bad.
Brandon Rios landed 34 power shots in that round. He was 45 of 99 overall. You saw the intense communication between Rios and his trainer, Robert Garcia, in the corner between rounds. They love it. They love this kind of stuff.
You know, I'm not sure that Alvarado wasn't already a little hurt in that round because, Roy, as you showed Rios eyeballing him from down low, Alvarado's eyes were not focused on Rios, it didn't look like.
He wasn't sure what Rios was doing. See, most guys like Rios that just are straight up fighters, you don't expect them to do a boxing maneuver like that and set you up. So it kind of threw him off to see Brandon do a boxing move like that.
Alvarado gets in a good right hand, now trying to follow it up.
Rios has been off his feet as a pro and badly hurt, and Alvarado's a powerful puncher and a guy we've seen on the verge of a knockout come back to knock out a guy in Bradis Prescott.
Stop. I got you.
Well, neither will give up. They'll both possibly involuntarily give in at some point, but they won't give up.
Watch that head, watch that head. Watch your head in there.
Between rounds, you heard Alvarado's corner telling him, get his hands back up after he throws. Has a tendency to drop his hands after he throws. Rios has been taking advantage of that.
Good overhand
quick
right
hand
by
by Alvarado.
By both fighters.
Alvarado's had a lot of success with that overhand right, and he just landed it again.
Stop.
Now, both fighters landed good overhand rights. Alvarado landed 2 of them.
But Alvarado's face is beginning to show the damage of combat, and Brandon Rios' face never seems to do so.
And he wouldn't care if it did. Probably would make
Great body shot by Rios.
Yeah, it was.
Right hand to
And
the body.
followed by a beautiful right uppercut up the middle. You can't ask for 2 better fighters than these guys.
Real fighters.
Real fighters, son.
Stop.
These are the guys that they make movies about, right here. Either one of them.
Good jab by Rios. Great left hooker.
Oh, you hurt
What a
Brandon.
right hand.
Rios is hurt.
Rios
Yes, you
buckled.
hurt Brandon.
Rios almost went down. Tremendous right hand shot by Mike Alvarado. Can he find another one? There's a left hook.
There's a right cross.
He hurt him again.
He landed every one of those blows, and Rios is still standing up.
Rios said Alvarado did not take him to the brink in the last fight.
What a right hand by Alvarado. And another one. And here comes Brandon Rios.
What a fight, son.
Amazing show, an amazing show.
You started perfect, you understand? It was a perfect round for you. You understand? You're doing great. You're punching and you're stepping in. You're not giving them that opportunity to get off. You understand? Exactly what you did this round, man. That's what you need to do. Beautiful. You understand? You do not give them opportunity.
It's a mistake. Don't find from getting hit with punches that you're not supposed to, Brandon. Come on. You're much smarter than this. Let's go. Okay? Very smart. How you feel? Good, man. Eh?
He see Alvarado from a distance come right over the top of Brandon Rios' left jab with an overhand right, boom, right on the chin, right at the end of the punch, and that shot really hurt Brandon Rios. And for the first time, I think Mike Alvarado finally got to Brandon Rios for a second. Beautiful right hand over the top of the jab.
That's what it looks like in real speed. What a brilliant set of exchanges in the third round. Power punches in that round. Rios 13 out of 42. Alvarado 24 out of 49. Harold, how do you have it through three?
Okay, Jim, I've got it 2 rounds to 1. 29-28, Brandon Rios. Jim, I thought Brandon Rios outfought him in the first 2 rounds. I thought Mike Alvarado outfought Rios in the third round. But I gotta tell you something, Jim. Mike Alvarado does a lot better when he doesn't circle away. Watch. When he stands flat-footed, he whacks him. When he circles away, he gets hit. It's, you know, just watch. He circles away a lot, and that's when he gets hit. 2-1, Rios.
Already I've seen one big adjustment for Alvarado. They hired Rudy Hernandez to work as a cut man, the brother of the late Gennaro Hernandez and a very qualified professional trainer in Southern California. Now between rounds, it sounds to me as though Hernandez is doing most of the talking in that corner more than Alvarado's longtime trainer, Sean Vilhauer.
Well, it's funny to say, but the cut man may have more experience than anybody else in the corner.
You know, Alvarado found a home for the right hand in the second round, late in the second round. Rios has to find an answer for that because he can't get away from it right now. And for the first time in 10.5 rounds in this series of fights so far, Alvarado hurt Rios, and that's a change.
Stop.
Big change. Rios just a tiny bit more cautious now as they re-engage in round 4. Halfway through the round.
Rios very smartly, though, continues to attack the body. But the Alvarado jab is really causing some problems.
Rios has got to figure out a way either to get away from the right hand or to dissuade Alvarado from throwing it.
That bumping Brandon Rios jab is creating the rhythm for his offense tonight.
And it's a hell of a jab, Jim.
It indeed is thunder.
A hell of a jab.
Almost knocked him down with it earlier.
Now Alvarado goes back to that southpaw stance momentarily.
And then a great body shot. Then followed by another good left hook.
And there's the right hand again. This time he just misses. That's a lightning right hand with which he's been tattooing Rios for the last 2 rounds.
Good uppercut by Rios.
Big left hook by Brandon Rios.
That's that long jab again, Jim. Good jab right on the nose. Think he may have hurt Mike again.
Yeah, he throws the jab with such torque, it looks like a hook.
It looks like a stiff right hand, but it's a stiff jab instead. Oh, good shot by Alvarado.
Good left hook by Alvarado. And another right hand. He's landing these blows with crushing force against the iron jaw of Brandon Rios.
Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect fucking round. Exactly what I need from you. You understand?
On a replay of Real Sports, Mike Tyson, who is touring the country in a one-man show, opens up about his rapid decline and his current renaissance. And congratulations to Real Sports for winning the prestigious Peabody Award this past week. Immediately following our show tonight, it's Road to Donaire Rigondeaux, taking a look at both men as they prepare for their matchup April 13 at Radio City Music Hall. CompuBox numbers in the 4th As you look at Andre Ward seated at ringside on a celebrity-studded and star-studded night here. 22 out of 75 for Rios, 31 out of 74 for Alvarado. Alvarado with a 17-14 power punch advantage. Alvarado was hurt early. Rios was hurt in the third. Now we go to the fifth. Fight is scheduled for 12.
Alvarado was hurt early. Rios was hurt early, and it's still early.
Well, we'll get to find out about that mile-high conditioning, seems like.
So both men have been hurt. Neither man has been down. Alvarado's face is beginning to show the damage. Rios' face seldom, if ever, does.
Stop, stop, stop. Let him up.
Southpaw stance again for Alvarado. Not really sure what it is he's trying to accomplish there, Roy.
I think he's just showing him something different, Jim. He's having a hard time holding him off with the movement. So I think he turned southpaw to use that right jab to hold him off a little bit, just to give Rios something different to look at and maybe buy him a little bit of time.
Isn't there a danger he gives up some of his power when he stands in that position?
No, because these two guys are fighting basically in a phone booth anyway. So if you can generate power with either hand, it doesn't matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed, they're still going to generate power because they're throwing
good uppercut by Alvarado and another right hand down the pipe.
Keep him up, Brandon. Keep him up.
See, everything is so close. So
Tony Weeks throws. Tony Weeks warns Rios for throwing low, and Rios at that moment catches Alvarado below the belt.
Hey, hey, hey! Get over here.
Alvarado has 5 minutes. They never take 5 minutes.
And Alvarado's not the kind of fighter to fake pain from a low blow. If he's like this, it's because he was debilitated.
He got hit with a hard shot.
Good. Good.
Significant swelling, as you see, around the right eye of Alvarado. And there are marks around the left eye as well.
Watch that head.
good uppercut by Alvarado and answered by Rios. The other thing I like that both fighters are doing is that they're landing some thunderous body shots this time.
Stop.
More so than in the first fight.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Alvarado's right hand has somewhat neutralized Rios' hook to the body in the last couple rounds.
And that's why I think he turned southpaw.
Well, you saw the southpaw stance for a few moments there, and he turned back to the conventional stance.
Good body shot. Nice uppercut by Mike Alvarado. They would just let these two guys fight once every quarter. I'd be happy just watching that.
Well, a trilogy's not out of the question. Israel Vasquez and Rafael Marquez fought 4 times. Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez fought 4 times. That's not out of the question.
Alvarado has to show here that after all this give and take, it's not Rios who breaks him, as he seemed to do in the first fight, in spite of the fact that it seemed to me at least to be a little bit of an early stoppage.
I don't think it was an early stoppage.
Well, when you see the way both these guys fight back, it seems as though it's never over till it's over.
Next week on HBO 2, a special day of boxing from Macau will feature the debut of 2-time Chinese Olympic gold medalist Zhao Ximing.
Let's go do como siempre lo empezamos, de los huevos para arriba, cabrón. Alright? Okay. Respire. Bien. Bueno más, así ya, tú me vas a entrar ya. De aquí para adelante es de nosotros. Okay?
Me gusta que pica. Don't forget your feints. I just need you to continue to work. Work and move. Work and move. I don't need you standing there toe with me. Every time you get off and starts to get off and punches. Yeah. Move.
La pinche derecha de gancho. All right? Come on. Vamos, cabrón. Ahí mero. Come on. Good. Vamos. Come on. Así mero.
Saw the tweet from Andre Ward, probably mimicking the thoughts of many boxing fans around the country. Oh my gosh, could it really only be the 5th round? Now we go to the 6th of a scheduled 12. Remember last time, the fight was stopped at 152 of the 7th round.
There have been comparisons to Ward and Gaddy and what Alvarado has to do here, Jim, to come out with a win, as Gaddy did in their second fight. You can think of a trilogy where the two fighters exchanged brutal knockouts and brutal fights with constant shifts of momentum. That was Zale and Graziano, and it also resembles that kind of fight.
Well, I'll tell you what, you might have to put Timothy Bradley and Ruslan Provodnikov on that same list, because it doesn't get any better than that either.
It's on the minds of a lot of people. Has been for 2 weeks.
Oh, good right hand by Alvarado.
Stop, 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 stop.
In the southpaw stance. Back to the conventional stance.
So far, by their standards, a quiet round, and it's brutal.
Mike Alvarado is using that jab good this round, though. And Brandon keeping the pressure on.
Trying to get to the body. I felt Alvarado may never have fully recovered from the low blow in the 5th round. He seemed a little low on energy as that round concluded.
I think he's good, and I think he's fighting smartly for himself, because he's trying to move around Rios as much as possible. He uses his legs when he can. It's just that with this Brandon Rios, you just can't get away from him.
Well, that right hand started to close Rios' left eye.
Oh, good shot.
1, 2, 3, 4 for Mike Alvarado. Now he's back in the southpaw stance. Now he's back in the conventional stance. That punch was on the hip from Brandon Rios. Tony Weeks has already warned him once for low blows.
These guys are throwing some right hands that really have trouble written all over them.
Alvarado missed one
They both missed
seconds
one.
ago.
They both did. Oh, good body shot by Brandon.
They're both also good at varying.
The right hand for Alvarado.
Varying the speed and force of their shots.
Great uppercut for Rios. Backing Alvarado up. Another hard uppercut. He's landed them with both hands in this rally. Right hand for Rios.
Oh.
Alvarado fires back with the right and left. Another right hand to punctuate the round. Brilliant stuff.
Okay, at the end,
This is Gatorade.
standing there. Don't stand there with him, you understand? He's got opportunities. Why have opportunities? Because you stand there, you choose to stay there with him. You understand? I don't need you standing in there with him. I need you moving your body from side to side. Understand? Side to side. Not.
Okay. That's my life. I want to see more punches to body. An uppercut. Really, get it close and fight inside. Bam, bam, bam. Often. And move again.
Here you go, you see Brandon Rios in close, landing that beautiful left uppercut, which has been a great punch for him the whole fight, followed by a right uppercut to the throat, then a low blow on top of it. That was a very good combination.
Heavy Bucks numbers in the 6th, just like their entire rivalry. Rios 25-79, Alvarado 24 of 82. Rios with a slight edge in power connect. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim, I've got it 57, 3 rounds apiece. I got it all even. I thought that after Rios won the first 2 rounds, Mike Alvarado won the next 3, doing what you just saw there. Landed great shots, great right hands. But in round 6, Brandon Rios came back with some monstrous right hands. I thought he won the 6th, 3 rounds apiece.
Sometimes it's instructive to listen to the tone and the body language in the corner. And I saw more alarm in Rios' corner in the last round than I remembered from any in their first fight.
I'll tell you what, Alvarado is trying to stick to his game plan and not just fight all the time. He's trying to mix a little bit of movement in with the fighting, because that was his best weapon earlier. When he moved against Rios, he had a chance. When he stood there and fought, he got dominated.
Well, the real difference has been Rios didn't think Alvarado could hurt him in the first fight. Never felt as though he was staggered, and here he has been staggered and hurt.
When I come back to facial damage, there was considerable work on both eyes in Alvarado's corner between rounds. And Rios may be swelling some around the left eye, but his face is far more intact at this moment than that of Mike Alvarado. As we're midway through the 7th round.
Oh, good shot by Rios.
And he set it up with that brilliant jab again, which has been a big factor for him all night long.
Oh,
and there's a huge left hook by Rios.
And Alvarado came back with about 5 punches.
Good right hand.
They trade concussive punches over and over.
Go home, Mike. Stop. Let him go when I tell you.
Alvarado trying to box and move. Rios cuts off the ring on him.
You got to give Alvarado credit, though, Jim. He's doing a good job of trying to box and move. He's not being lured into just standing there and trading with Brandon Rios like many thought he would do.
No, he's creating space. He's using his jab. He's using his feet. But every once in a while, Rios is able to cut off the ring, and then they go to war.
Right.
Rios isn't the kind of guy that you can avoid for the entire time.
That's the point. Rios is earning it. Alvarado's making him earn it when he lands his punches. He's not giving him anything.
Stop! Next on HBO, it's the Road to Donaire Rigondeaux. Taking a look at both men as they prepare to meet April 13, live from Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Nonito Donaire, only the 2nd fighter to fight in Radio City Music Hall as the star, as the showcase attraction. Roy Jones did it against David Telesco. I don't know, feels like yesterday, Roy. How long was it ago?
It was quite a while ago. I don't remember exactly what year. I just know it was January 15th. Might have been like 2000, 2001, something like
along
that.
in there. Look at that. An equal number of landed punches to the head by both fighters through 7 rounds.
Here you see him in close. Brandon looking for that shot again, and followed by that beautiful left hand. That's almost like a straight left hand. He threw a good hard jab from across his body like a straight left hand. Beautiful shot.
Well, that's Mike Tyson, obscured by the guy in the black shirt. But he's there, and there's a grin on his face. Mike, of course, one of the most knowledgeable fight fans you will ever meet after that intense education in boxing history and lore that was given to him by Customado. Fascinating to watch the process as Alvarado tries to create space, use space, make his feet a factor in the fight, and Rios tries to cut off the ring, trap him into exchanges.
Both fighters trying to stick to their game plan. You gotta love that. Two guys that love to battle, but they both are sticking to their game plans. Question becomes, who can hold their game plan the longest, or who can last the longest?
There's a lot of stuff written before this fight about the absence of craft. I don't think that's fair to either fighter for what they do, and particularly, I think it's unfair to Rios to say that there's no craft involved in what he does on the inside. There's a hard right hand by Alvarado. What a shot. And he knows that's his best chance in a while. Another big right hand.
There's the craft that people think is lacking in Rios. He holds his head still, pulls straight out from punches, and tries to block mostly with his gloves. If he can snake the punch around his gloves, you can hit him.
Better defense than most people give him credit for. Definitely a bigger heart than anybody ever could imagine in both of these guys. But Rios definitely shows better defense, and Mike Alvarado shows better offense than people give him credit for. Like that right there.
Another big right hand for Alvarado. Rios comes back with a right and a left.
What a fight.
It is an amazing fight. And it certainly belies the notion that the second fight after a tremendous war is going to be less active and and less explosive. This has been everything the first fight was.
And some.
And it's, again, to Alvarado's the credit to his heart and his determination that he got rocked by a jab in the second round. And it had the look of a fight that the beaten fighter would cave a little more quickly. But if anything, Alvarado could be up in this fight right now.
You don't want to get hit with too many more right hands like that one he just took, though.
You just have a sense that Alvarado, who has been in so many wars and who has had to come back from difficult circumstances, such as in his win over Bradis Prescott, is fighting the fight of his life tonight, is putting it all out there.
Oh, good shot by Alvarado. That hurt Brandon's eye.
Another chance for Alvarado.
And look at the defense by Brandon Rios. Uses shoulders for defense and his hands.
Tremendous left hook landed for Alvarado as the round came to a close. Mikey Garcia, who was in the corner with Brandon Rios before the opening bell, as was Las Vegas resident Jesse Vargas. All the fighters are enjoying what they're watching tonight.
You're doing that right hand and he's catching you winning. I need this from you every single round. Don't overget confident. I want you to get overconfident. You understand? I don't want you to get overconfident. Breathe. I'm fine. Don't give him the round. Don't let him steal the round
Here's his
from you.
big overhand right there. Alvarado's been landing all night long, right down the middle, right on the nose of Rios. He starts slow and comes with it, then he follows, he lands a left hook right here, followed by, once again, that big overhand right. And you notice Brandon immediately gets low right after the shot, though, to show superb defense.
CompuBox numbers in 8. Rios was 23 of 86. Alvarado, 32 of 106 punches. First time in the fight that he's thrown more than 100. He was trying to take advantage of the opportunities he created with big right hands that seemed momentarily to stagger Rios. Alvarado landed 26 power shots in that round. Back in the southpaw stance, Alvarado.
And that right eye, Alvarado, doesn't look good.
This time he stays in that stance for a moment.
Let go.
Alvarado doing everything possible to try to stay out of those toe-to-toe, full-on exchanges with Rios, but then when he gets into them, he does his own damage.
He moves just enough to keep Rios off balance, and when he thinks the time is right, he launches his attack.
It's going to be very interesting to see Harold Letterman's scorecard after this round, because after this one, we'll have 3 rounds to go. And if Alvarado has built a working margin on the scorecards, he may have some room down the stretch.
Listen, he's still a knockout threat, and Rios still hasn't found an answer for the Alvarado right hand.
Nor the movement.
Side-to-side movement by Alvarado, stopping Rios' action there.
Here's the question now, having always won fights like this so far in his career, and having beaten Alvarado in a fight like this the first time, does Rios have a little more to draw from in his experience right now?
Well, if he's got it, he's going to need to produce it pretty soon.
And can Mike Alvarado's face hold up for 3 more rounds?
That's another great question. They are working overtime on his eyes between rounds. Another minute to go in this one. Rios momentarily caught him.
And Alvarado answered.
Interestingly, though, after the right hand Alvarado caught him with, he pushed Rios back, something we're not used to seeing.
Alvarado, former state championship quality wrestler in high school in Denver. Understands leverage and how to use his body. Great right hand.
One hell of a punch.
How many right
Great
hands
body
like
shot.
that can Rios
Terrific
take?
uppercut from distance. Another right hand. All this is Mike Alvarado.
He is trying his best to get Brandon Rios out of here, son. And Brandon refuses to go.
rounds to go. High drama in Vegas.
Fucking rounds. Listen to me. I need just 3 fucking rounds. I need you to stay on him, get close to him, don't give him that distance, and throw more than 1 punch. I need 3 punch combinations. All right? Okay?
When you crack him on top of the head.
He see Mike Alvarado fighting a little smarter this time around, landing the overhand right around the glove of Rios there, then coming back and changing his attack, and not only landing up top, but he's also landing it to the body. So he's changing his attack, taking it up and down, trying to wear Brandon Rios down with him this time instead of him wearing down by himself.
Guys, I'm about to read you the most amazing CompuBox numbers I've ever seen. You see this in tennis matches, but not in boxing matches. Rios, 210 out of 674. You got it? Alvarado, 212 out of 675.
Wow.
Incredible. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through now?
86, 85, 5 rounds to 4. Mike Alvarado. Jim, I thought he won rounds 8 and 9 to forge into the lead. Barely. I mean, this fight is very, very close to my eyes. Alvarado just outfought him in 8 and 9. Very close. 5 to 4. Mike Alvarado.
But it's Rios' corner who doesn't like the way it's going, and it's Alvarado's corner who's much more satisfied at the moment.
Absolutely. Trainer Robert Garcia said it all in Rios' corner. I need all 3 rounds. I need all 3. I need 3 punch combinations. Come on.
Because they didn't think that Mike Alvarado would stick to his game plan and box the way he's doing, nor did they think that he'd be quite as effective. But he's being pretty good with it. But your head has to go off to Brandon Rios too, because he's showing people that people thought he was just a walk-in, take a shot, give a shot guy. He's been very, very good, very impressive with his defense tonight.
What made the first fight so exciting when it was announced was what's inside both these guys, what they've demonstrated inside throughout their careers. And for those who thought maybe Rios beat some of that out of Mike Alvarado, that includes me, shame on us.
What a privilege it is to sit here with a little bit more than 2 rounds to go.
He did make Alvarado smarter, though, because Alvarado has fought a much smarter fight here tonight than he did the first time.
But the stuff on the inside is still there, and there it is.
Most definitely. But he's using his feet now after he throws that stuff on the inside.
I think it's very telling what Garcia said. I need 3 punch combinations. With the foot movement, Alvarado is limiting severely Rios' chance for a 3 punch combination.
That's without a doubt.
On the other hand, when he stands still, Alvarado has landed some 3 punch combinations, like the one you just saw.
And Alvarado's defense has been pretty good itself, Jim. We haven't seen Brandon land a big shot on him in a few rounds.
Several rounds. Rios' left eye getting closer to shutting up.
He hasn't landed anything that seemed to have bothered Alvarado in a while now.
Oh,
Alvarado risks something.
Both fighters.
Alvarado gets very risky for himself when he throws those multiple punch combinations. Mike Alvarado holds his glove aloft as he goes back to his corner between the 10th and the 11th. Next on HBO, The Road to Donaire Rigondeaux, taking a look at both men. They prepare to meet April 13 live from Radio City Music Hall in New York City. That might be a great fight, but it won't be this kind of fight.
I need to see more of that, Brandon. I need to see you more aggressive. Come on, let's get that fucking
But you stay focused and you follow the plan. You understand? You're going first. Remember, it was perfect. Stepping like this. Remember? You're stepping sideways.
Vamos, no perdamos, cabrón. All right, let's go then. Vamos, mijo. Come on, son. Come on, son. 2 punches. Más de uno.
CompuBox numbers in the 10th round, and for the first time in the fight, Alvarado put some distance between himself and Rios, at least in terms of the numbers. Alvarado landing 22 out of 67. Rios 11 out of 52. Alvarado has outlanded Rios in each of the last 3 rounds. Here we go to the 11th. And now Alvarado with a 2-point lead on Harold Letterman's scorecard with 2 rounds to go.
I don't see where Rios is trying to change anything. He's just doing more of what he's done. Stalking, trying to land a big shot. Has not made an adjustment, it doesn't seem to me, in this fight yet.
Well, he didn't think that Alvarado would be able to stick to a game plan like this and just box all night.
Great
going
point.
left and right. He thought Alvarado would at some point say, forget about it. I'm a warrior just like Rios. I'm going to try to man it out with him again. He's doing that in a sense, but he's also sticking to his game plan, and that's what's making it so difficult for Brandon Rios.
And Roy, I think that Alvarado has not only been able to stick to the game plan, but despite the damage to his eyes and his face, has become more comfortable executing it with each passing round.
I agree with you, Jim. And Brandon also has abandoned that jab a little bit, which is the punch that hurt Alvarado earlier in the fight. I think he's just hurt him with it again in this round, though.
Yeah, he's coming back to that jab. It's almost as though he's remembered it and what it did to Alvarado in the second round when it almost wrecked him. Alvarado's weapon has been the big right hand over the top. Rios has landed his left jab, and his uppercuts when he's done damage.
That was a good right hand by Rios.
Best one in a long time.
Until the jab by Rios, it was Alvarado who the last several rounds was the confident fighter, and Rios who looked frustrated. Now maybe that's changed a little bit. This is a dynamic and fluid situation here, the way they're throwing punches.
You want to see a real live Rocky movie, son? Here it is in the flesh.
Alvarado throwing out of his southpaw stance, then gets on his bicycle and moves away. Rios trying to hammer that uppercut.
Alvarado's been a disciplined slugger this fight. It's worked, it seems to us so far. Seems to me he's winning the fight, and Rios has to figure out something in the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Tell you what, that mile high conditioning has showed up here. He's looking much stronger now in this fight than he did at the 7th round of the last fight. So
he's going to have to deal with the competitive will of Brandon Rios in the last round, who has been told by his trainer that he needs a comeback and who will be trying desperately to mount it when the bell rings one more time.
And he hurt him a little at the end of that round with a right hand.
A lot.
Here's a guy who knows a good fight when he sees one. He was in a rather spectacular tussle in December, Juan Manuel Marquez.
Okay. Come on, all right? ¿Cómo hizo el jab este? Otra vez. Okay, está bien. Don't give this round away. Don't blow this back up. Or you move. You know what that's good. You understand? Or you move from place. You understand? Muy good. Good jab. Mucho pinche jab. Y la derecha recta. En medio le está lastimando. Por acá no. En medio.
If Mike Alvarado wins this fight, the new hero in his life is Rudy Hernandez, who's done a spectacular job with his cuts and has also brilliantly advised him throughout the fight. CompuBox numbers entering the last round. Rios 236 out of 787, Alvarado 248 out of 806. Harold Letterman has Alvarado with a 3-point lead coming to the 12th. That is unofficial. Harold is not the official scorer of the fight.
See if Rios has a little magic in him. It does seem to us that he needs something dramatic here. And it does seem to me that he hurt Alvarado with a right hand to close the 11th.
Brandon Rios has never been judged the loser of a professional prize fight, though he did get what was regarded by many as a gift decision over Richard Abril last year here in Las Vegas.
Abril outboxed him, but he didn't land punches like this, like Alvarado's landing.
Stop. I got you.
Alvarado has a bad cut on that left eye now.
It's been a courageous performance by Alvarado. His right eye seemed to be tweaked after round 1, and they've been working on his eyes every single between rounds period since then. In the second round, he almost went down off a Rios jab, and Rios seemed to be thoroughly in command with his power in those early rounds. But then Alvarado's constant movement and his frequent changes in tactics, and mostly his big right hand, began to give him chance after chance, and he has capitalized, in our view at least, to take the lead on the scorecard in the fight.
Jim, you are the one who compared it most often to Gaddy Ward 2, with Alvarado playing Gaddy with his more versatile style. And so far it's been that, only better.
Yeah, it's a better fight than Gaddy Ward 2, but it's living up to the profile in the sense that Alvarado, who's a lot like Arturo Gaddy in the way he fights, has been able to box more, just enough. Got a dangerous man in front of him, but he just clocked him with a hard right hand.
Rios winked at him.
The usage of the feet is the one thing I think that saved Mike Alvarado and changed the outcome of this fight.
All over the arena. They're beginning to stand up. Stand up in appreciation of these two fighters.
Oh, he hurt Rios.
What a left hook.
Rios did a dance.
What a colossal left hook by Alvarado.
Well, Rios won't stop coming though, son.
He knows no other way.
Win it or lose it.
But Alvarado does, and that was the difference in this fight.
Win it or lose it, Mike Alvarado has fought the fight of his life. See him do it. An amazing fight. Everything we expected and more. Here are some of the highlights of a highlight-filled night. Round 2, Rios' jab hurts Alvarado, momentarily puts him on Queer Street. Round 3, the retaliation from Mike Alvarado and the right hand, which would become his signature punch all night, followed by a fusillade of blows. Round 6, a thunderous uppercut by Brandon Rios. Round 8, Alvarado on the inside, working against Brandon Rios. And what a comeback down the stretch for Alvarado. In the 10th round, Alvarado's foot movement beginning to befuddle Rios, and that right hand landing and landing. A tremendous effort by both fighters, but by our lights, Alvarado appeared to get it done. Harold, what do you have?
Chip, I've got it 8-4, 116, 112. Mike Alvarado, I just thought that he swept the last 5 rounds. Brandon Rios to stop him to get out of his punches, and Mike Alvarado outfought him. Mike Alvarado with a tremendous finish, 8-4 rounds.
And now let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer to see if Mile High Mike Alvarado has gotten it done against Brandon Rios.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, we go to the scorecards after 12 magnificent rounds of action. Bill Lurch scores it 115-113. Dave Moretti, same score, 115-113. Dwayne Ford, 114-113. To the winner by unanimous decision. Looks like we're going to have a rubber match. From the Mile High area of Colorado, your winner, and now the WBO light welterweight world champion, Mike Mile High Alvarado.
see Brandon Rios holding up 3 fingers. Where are the contracts? When will they sign?
Hurry up, 'cause
Where
I can't
will
wait.
it be?
I can't wait to see
Let's
it.
get ready for that. Oh, my goodness. Yes, absolutely, Michael Buffer. We need a rubber match. What a show. What a show by Brandon Rios and Mike Alvarado, and the right winner from the judges in Vegas tonight. What a tremendous effort, with both eyes closing from the 5th or 6th round on.
Showed a lot of heart and a lot of discipline.
And got great corner work.
Yes.
Tremendous corner work from Alvarado's corner tonight. There's Rudy Hernandez giving a benediction to Rios, but he's a giant hero in the Alvarado camp tonight. Punch zone numbers. Punches landed on Rios, and the 80 next to the left side of Rios's head, that goes to those right hands that Alvarado was ripping him with, particularly throughout the second half of the fight. 46 body shots landed by Alvarado, 52 body shots landed by Rios. Brandon Rios landing that uppercut or something like it 60 times, along with the jab that he threw. But at the end of the day, as close as these numbers were, Alvarado was pulling away down the stretch from the point earlier in the late rounds when they had thrown virtually the same number and landed the same number. Max Kellerman stands by with Mike Alvarado.
Congratulations, Mike. What a pleasure it was to watch that fight and your performance. What was the difference tonight?
It was that movement I was talking about, that focus to stay on my movement, the game plan, the strategic ways that I did all camp. I capitalized on it, and I did what I had to do to win this fight, and that's what I did.
Brandon's over there screaming, I gave you a rematch.
Hey, I gave you a rematch.
I don't mind giving you a rematch. I don't mind giving you a rematch.
We're gonna do a 3.
That's all right. That's right here, baby. That championship, I know you want. I got it. So we'll see what they say.
I got last one.
I ain't got no problem giving you a rematch. I ain't got no problem. I got it.
You know what? We're fucking warriors.
Do it, warriors.
You
fight, Brand. I give it to you.
I give it to you, baby. But we're gonna do it again. We gotta do it again.
For whatever, dog. You know what I mean?
Bob Arum. Where's Bob Arum?
Mike, let me ask you something. Brandon, let me ask, I want to ask you both something. Why is it that amped up? You guys obviously have a lot of respect for each other. After a fight like that, usually hug it out. And why is it that amped up still?
Because he knows. I mean, that first fight, it was prematurely stopped. I came back with a better game plan. I'm always smarter, always better the second time around. That's what I did. I capitalized on what I had to do. And my camp was the best camp I had, the best team in the world, and I proved it tonight.
In spite of what Bradley and Provodnikov did a couple weeks ago, and how many great matchups there are out there for you and Brandon. Brandon, don't go anywhere. For you and Brandon, everyone here, everyone watching, pretty obvious, everyone wants to see a third fight. Do you want that to happen immediately?
Brandon gave me a shot to redeem myself. I'll give him a shot for a trilogy. It's up to, Bob Arum and the promoters, so we'll see what happens.
Mike, unbelievable performance. Congratulations again. Brandon, why were you that amped up? Usually that's not the way it goes after a fight like that.
Yeah, what can I say? I won the first one, so they want to make a third one, so we got to make a third one. He won the second one. So third one, we got to take it back home again, baby.
Is it because you've never lost and this is new to you and you want to correct it right away?
Hey, like he said, he went to my backyard, I'll go to his backyard. Fuck it, Denver, I don't care. Wherever we go.
Let's bring this title back home to the Mile High City, baby. I'll defend it there. I went to your city and I fought there. Let's go to Mile High City. I'm with that.
Respect. I'll go to your city. I ain't scared. I never scared, dog. You already know how I roll.
That's how we do it.
Like I'm saying.
What?
Like I'm saying. We go to your city, Denver, Mile High.
Brandon, quickly. He didn't seem to hurt you in the first fight. Here he seemed to rock you a couple times.
Max, your eyes are deceiving. Your eyes are deceiving, Max, because he didn't rock me at all. We're warriors. I don't get rocked. If I would have got rocked, I would have been like that. Fuck no. We're warriors. So, Mike, you need to go check your eyeballs.
You said you've never been pushed to the brink, and he didn't do it in the first fight. Did he push you to the brink tonight?
Oh, I still got energy to go more. I can go 15 more rounds. Shit, I don't care. If I'm more, I'm a warrior, baby. I love the fight. Hey,
listen.
Do it again. Fuck that. We got to do it again.
Guys, we love...
Hey, fans, do y'all guys want this number 3? Y'all want the 3? Let's do it. I'll go to your hometown.
Mike, Brandon, we love you both. Thanks for that, and we hope to see it again real soon. Jim?
All right, thank you, Max. And before I get a final word from Roy Jones, a quick look at CompuBox numbers, and you see that Brandon Rios wound up falling just a little bit off and Alvarado wound up with the edge as he lands 20 punches more, throws 37 punches more, doesn't throw as much as he did in the first fight, but nevertheless gets the job done. That movement, that precision, and most of all, Roy Jones, that disciplined commitment to boxing more just got him by.
Yes, that commitment is what changed the whole thing. Nobody thought that he could be disciplined enough to stick to his commitment. He did a great job of sticking to the game plan, and ultimately he got the win.
Any reason for either of them to go anywhere else before right back to each other?
No reason to go nowhere else except right back to one another. This is what boxing needs. This is what good fights are made of. This is what we all want to see.
I agree. All right, one more thing before we leave the air. On the undercard, Top-Rank Boxing showcased American amateur star Jose Ramirez, whose professional career continues. This was only his second professional appearance against an outclassed opponent. And in the first round, you'll see what Ramirez has. It's that left hook to the body, which might ultimately make him special if that's what he's going to be. You saw the left hook to the body there, setting up the final destruction. Another one, and the opponent goes down, and it winds up being a first-round knockout win for Ramirez in his second fight. All right, but at the end of the night, an unbelievably great main event. And as you heard from everyone in the audience, and from Brandon Rios, and from Mike Alvarado, you're very, very likely to get a chance to see it again, which means we're going to be very likely to get a chance to bring it to you again. And frankly, as everyone has said, we can't wait. So thanks very much for being with us on this night of Rios Alvarado 2. April 6 on HBO 2. It's a special day of boxing from Macau. We'll feature the pro debut of two-time gold medalist Zhao Ximing of China. April 13 on the main channel. It's a unification fight between 122-pound title holders Nonito Donaire and Guillermo Rigondeaux. April 27 from Argentina, hometown hero Sergio Martinez returns to face Martin Murray. And from California, heavyweights Chris Arreola and Bermain Stavern collide. May 25, two excellent matchups. Lucien Boutte against Jean Pascal from Montreal. Mikael Kessler facing Carl Froch in a rematch from London. Next on HBO, it's Road to Donaire Rigondeaux. So stay tuned. And now for everybody in Las Vegas who worked for HBO tonight, I'm Jim Lampley. Good night, and thanks for being with us.
This April 13th,